Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United are the favourites to sign Jadon Sancho this summer. Eurosport claims Manchester United are set to launch a bid in the region of 65 million to 75 million pounds. The player is available, they say. Borussia Dortmund are open to a sale. ESPN and the BBC reckon he will go for £87 million. Now, it recently said we could use Jesse Lingard to buy Jadon Sancho because Borussia Dortmund are interested in Jesse Lingard. It said not so long ago that Man United are ready to offer £77 million for Sancho, and we want to complete a deal before the European Championship. Borussia Dortmund confirmed earlier on this season that they've got a gentleman's agreement with Sancho over the possible transfer. Quite a few weeks ago, it said that Borussia Dortmund lowered their asking price. It said they want around £78 million. Earlier on this season, Borussia Dortmund admitted that they'll sell Sancho for the right price this summer, and Borussia Dortmund's CEO did reveal that the club will discuss exceptional offers for the winger. Sancho recently admitted that he's unsure where his future lies. His preference would be to go to a team playing in the Champions League. Fabrizio Romano said that Jadon Sancho would be 100% happy to join Manchester United this summer, because he did mention that Sancho was keen on a move to Man United last summer. But yeah, Liverpool are interested in him, Chelsea are interested in him, and Bayern Munich have recently entered the race. The Manchester Evening News said not so long ago that Sancho is pushing for a transfer out of Dortmund this summer, and he wants to make a move to Manchester United. I'd love Jadon Sancho to come to Manchester United because he's a very, very good winner. He would assure us goals, he'd create good chances, and he would exceed expectations in the Premier League. And he would replicate what he has done at Borussia Dortmund. Sancho's still young, he's got a lot of development in him. Last summer, he was our top target. And Sancho to Man United last summer was extremely close, because obviously the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and even a contract had been agreed. But the reason we didn't get him is because we was reluctant to meet Dortmund's 108 million valuation. Don't forget we was only willing to pay so much up front. Dortmund made it clear to us last summer that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho remained at Dortmund. And Fabrizio Romano and Christian Falk from Bild have spoken a lot about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga. We've been in for him now for like the last 2 years or something. But analysing the vast majority of his career at Dortmund, he's been very consistent. You know, this has been his 4th season at Dortmund. Dortmund paid just £8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. He had a couple of years at Man City. The main reason he left Man City is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities. And Sancho's under contract with Dortmund until 2023. It recently said we was looking at Kingsley Coman as an alternative to Sancho. Before we've looked at Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona as another alternative to Sancho. But there is a lot of players that Manchester United are looking at. Obviously, Harry Kane from Tottenham, he's on our agenda. He recently said, "We fear that we will miss out on Harry Kane forever if we don't sign him this summer." He recently said Harry Kane is ready to ask Tottenham to listen to transfer offers this summer. He recently said the Glazers are planning to sanction a £90 million bid. I'm very sceptical that £90 million will be enough to convince Tottenham to offload him, because Daniel Levy, Tottenham's chairman, said not so long ago Tottenham will only consider offers for Harry Kane starting at £125 million. Now, quite a few weeks ago, Harry Kane came out and said that he wants to win team trophies. He did mention that after Tottenham's Carabao Cup final defeat to Man City. Tottenham have not won a trophy for 13 years. He also said earlier on this season that he will ask to leave Tottenham if Tottenham fail to qualify for the Champions League. And he said he's decided that he wants to stay in the Premier League if he decides to leave Tottenham, because earlier on this season PSG were looking to beat us and City to the signing of Kane. He did say though earlier on this season that, Kane dealt Tottenham a major blow and he's delaying his transfer decision until after the Euros. I'd take Kane at Manchester United, even though he would cost us a substantial amount, because Kane would assure us goals. He can create chances. He's regarded as one of the best strikers in the world, and of course he's well Premier League proven. Harry Kane was leading the way for the Golden Boot. He's won the Golden Boot a couple of times, reflecting on his good performances. He's been at Tottenham for 17 years. He's under contract with Tottenham till 2024. He's been in their senior squad since 2009. He's had loan spells before with Leyton Orient, Millwall, Norwich and Leicester. But yeah, Man United are still in search for a striker, despite Edison Cavani signing a one-year deal not so long ago. Yesterday, I give you the news on Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. The Manchester Evening News said that Man United are holding talks with Rafael Varane as he considers his future at the club. Rafael Varane is valued at £60 million. Reports were coming out yesterday saying that Manchester United are preparing a £40 million bid. £40 million would be an absolute bargain for a player of Rafael Varane's calibre. Liverpool have also held talks with Rafael Varane. He said earlier on this season that Chelsea were the favourites to sign him, and Chelsea were prepared to meet Real Madrid's £61 million asking price. But earlier on this season, it said we'd been handed a boost in our pursuit of Varane, because it did mention that Real Madrid were closing in on David Alaba from Bayern Munich. I think Varane wants to make a move to the Premier League. Rafael Varane's contract talks with Real Madrid have stalled. His current contract expires next year. The reasons I take Varane at Manchester United is because he's a world-class centre-half. He'd go very well alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. He's highly experienced and he's got a great pedigree behind him as a player. He's won 18 major honours at Real Madrid and he's made over 300 appearances. Madrid paid just €10 million for him from Lens, but there's been quite a few centre-halves that Man United have been looking at. We still want a centre-half despite Eric Bailly signing a new contract not so long ago. And obviously, you know the news on Jules Koundé from Sevilla. Damasio recently said that Man United have made contact with Sevilla regarding Jules Koundé. He's top of our wish list, and Sevilla have requested €65 million. Yes, I would take Jules Koundé at Man United because his performances for Sevilla have been very, very good. But in the summer transfer window, I'm expecting Man United to make around 3 or 4 signings. And I've already identified the areas in the squad where we need to strengthen up. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware of how big the summer transfer window is going to be for himself and Manchester United in general. Solskjaer has said that he wants 3 world-class signings in order for Manchester United to challenge for the Premier League next season. But yeah, Solskjaer recently, demanded more transfers. He's basically said, we need to strengthen to challenge Man City. Our current squad at the moment, isn't good enough to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now. Solskjaer's made it clear that he wants good backing, and he should get the backing he deserves in the summer transfer window. The summer transfer window is going to be his 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager so far. He's enjoyed 4 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager, and he's spent almost £300 million. Obviously, Solskjaer's brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. He brought Bruno Fernandes in, brought Odina Gallo in on loan, but obviously left in January. And also he brought Donny van de Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Amad Diallo, Traore and Facundo Pellistri were loaned Pellistri out in January. So yeah, he has made good signings, but he hasn't got all the players that he wanted to recommend in as yet. And in that aspect, the blame stems from the board. The board's been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. So in the summer transfer window, it's very imperative that Solskjaer gets the players that he wants to recommend in. Quite a few players are going to leave Manchester United in the summer transfer window. I think there's a good chance De Gea's going to go. I think Romero's going to go. Lee Grant's going to go. I want Phil Jones to go. Whether he does or not, I don't know. Delors, we're obviously looking to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan with Milan at the moment. Andres Pereira, I think we'll be looking to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan at the moment with Lazio. Nemanja Matic, I think we need to offload him because he isn't one of our first choice midfielders. Pogba could leave Man United in the summer transfer window, but obviously I don't want him to. Juan Mata, I think we should also offload him. Brandon Williams, he's another one. Because Brandon Williams hardly plays, he is our 3rd choice left back. It said recently there's 10 players that Man United could offload in the summer transfer window. Wait a second. I'm just doing something. But a lot of players are going to stay at Man United in the summer transfer window, and I reckon there's quite a few players that have got long-term futures at the club. Dean Henderson, he will definitely stay. I can assure he's got a long-term future at Man United. Dean Henderson is obviously now our number one goalkeeper, and Man United made the right decision putting Dean Henderson as number one, because Dean Henderson's done well in a lot of his games this season. You know, he's kept clean sheets, his distribution's been good, he's made good saves, and he's made some good aerial claims. Henderson has got that experience behind him. Of course, he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's obviously had other loan spells before. Before the start of this season, he signed a 6-year contract with Man United worth £120,000 a week. So reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Luke Shaw, he'll obviously stay as well. Luke Shaw's been our best player this season. You know, he's showed good attacking intent, he's got into very good positions, he's put good crosses into the box, he's created chances for his teammates, he's provided that width, and defensively he's been superb. Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. He's been at the club now over 6 years. He said earlier on this season that Man United are set to offer Luke Shaw a new 5-year contract worth around 180 grand a week. So he said he's going to be given like a £30,000 pay rise. Shaw's just got over 2 years left on his current contract, being the best left back in the league this season by far. Harry Maguire, he'll also stay potentially past the summer. Harry Maguire is obviously out with an ankle injury at the moment. He damaged his ligament. He sustained the injury in our 3-1 win against Aston Villa. Now, Solskjaer said he fears that he could be out for a few weeks, but I've heard that he's going to be out for the season, and there's a good chance he'll miss the Europa League final. But Solskjaer's hopeful that he will be back for the Europa League final. Defensively, we are a shambles without Harry Maguire, and you saw that in the 4-2 defeat to Liverpool. Harry Maguire's had some good games, but he's also had a lot of bad games as well. We overpaid for him. We got him in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester, so reflecting on that, he's the second most expensive sign at the club behind Pogba, and at the moment is the most expensive centre-half in the world. Victor Lindelof, he'll also stay at Man United, potentially past the summer, but I'm very sceptical that he's going to be with us long term. I've got my strong reservations about Lindelof, because in a lot of his games at Man United, he's been too careless at the back. He doesn't get forward enough. And he looks poor from set pieces in a lot of games as well. And in general, he just makes too many mistakes. He's had some good games at Man United, but he's nowhere near on the same level as Harry Maguire or even Eric Bailly. Lindelof has been at the club now for quite a few years. We got him in a deal worth £31 million from Benfica back in 2017. Eric Bailly, obviously we now know he's staying at Manchester United, because not so long ago he signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. I like Eric Bailly a lot. You know, in a lot of his games he's done very well, but my element of concern about him is injury prone. So in that aspect he's a liability. He was very poor against Liverpool recently. Could have given 2 penalties away. One from a handball and one from a foul on Phillips. And his position against Liverpool was very poor. Wan-Bissaka, he'll stay at Manchester United. I reckon he's got a long-term future at the club. He's really flourishing, is Wan-Bissaka. You know, he's starting to show more attacking intent now in a lot of games. That's what I said he needed to work on, because there's been a lot of games where he hasn't showed enough attacking intent. Defensively, though, he's always been superb. I reckon he can emulate into the next Gary Neville. Probably Bissaka's one of the best right backs we've had since Neville, to be honest with you. And Wan-Bissaka's been at the club now a couple of years. Got him in a deal worth £50 million from Palace in the summer of 2019. Fred. Now, he's been heavily criticised, but I reckon he will stay potentially past the summer. Probably won't be with us long term though. Fred's enjoyed a lot of poor games at Man United, and he's also enjoyed good games as well. We overpaid for Fred. We got him in a deal worth £52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. His worst game in a Manchester United shirt was the 3-1 defeat to Leicester in the FA Cup quarter-final, because he gave the ball away countless times and he was accountable for Leicester's first goal. He was poor against Liverpool recently, very sloppy, gave the ball away a few times. Too easily predictable. At Tom Ware, he will stay. He's not a world-class player, McTominay. I'd just say he's a decent player. We've got to give him more time, McTominay. He's still young. He's got a lot of development in him. He's been part of the club for a while, as it stands. Just after the first lockdown last year, he signed a 5-year contract with Man United, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. McTominay's best game this season was a 6-2 win against Leeds. He made a difference in that game because he scored 2 goals. Bruno Fernandes, he will definitely stay. Bruno Fernandes has said he wants Man United to make 2 signings before he signs a new contract. It said not so long ago Fernandes will sign a new contract if Paul Pogba commits his future, because earlier on this season there was reports saying that Bruno Fernandes is refusing to sign a new contract until he has assurances of the club's transfer plans. Fernandes is under contract with Man United until 2025. There is an option of a further 12 months. We initially paid £47 million for him, but the overall cost with add-ons is just over £67 million. He has been at the club now over a year, Fernandes, and he has made a difference. He's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson, and he is our best player. In a lot of his games at Man United, he has been very consistent, but there's also been a few games where he has looked off the pace. Don't forget he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We have overplayed him, but Fernandes said earlier on this season that he denies that he needs a rest because he wants to help the club win trophies. He made it clear that he came to Manchester to win trophies. Mason Greenwood, he'll also stay at Man United. He's done well in the vast majority of his games at Man United since he broke into our senior squad. Greenwood made his senior debut in 2019, and he's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time. And earlier on this season, he signed a new 4-year contract with the club. He did go a while though without scoring, but he's been scoring a lot recently. Solskjaer's been defending him a lot this season. Didn't really have much of a perception on Greenwood at the first part of this season because obviously he was in and out of the team and stuff. The start of this season we give him that number 11 shirt, but whether you play Greenwood centrally, whether you play him on the right hand side, we just seem to get the best out of him most of the time. Edinson Cavani, we obviously know now he's staying for next season. He'll go after next season, will Cavani. I'm glad Cavani's staying because he has made a fantastic impact since he's come in. Cavani's hold-up play has been good in a lot of his games at Man United. He's created good chances. His movement in and around the box has been good, and he's scored very, very good goals. Marcus Rashford, he's also staying as well. He's enjoyed poor games as Rashford, but he's enjoyed good games. He's a very, very good player, is Rashford, but has become injury prone at Manchester United because he has now sustained quite a few injuries. Obviously we know Madalo Traore will be staying. He looks a very good asset for the first team squad. Check my battery. So yeah, like I say, there you go. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he does deserve another season at Manchester United. Obviously, he's getting another season at Manchester United. This has been his second full season at the club. And I think he has made very, very good progress. He's been Manchester United manager now over 2 years. There's a lot of positives regarding Solskjaer. You know, he's got us to the Europa League final. It's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first major final as Man United manager, and it's our 8th European final. And we do play Villarreal, and it's going to be a tough game. But Ole knows how imperative it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. You know, we win the Europa League, that will give us confidence, and that'll give us something to build on going on into next season. Solskjaer's got us to the FA Cup quarter-final as well this season. He got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. We've enjoyed very good periods under Ole. You know, we've got a very good away record in the Premier League. We are unbeaten in our last 25 Premier League away games. Ole did well though last season in his first full season at the club. He guided us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League, got us a 3rd place finish. You know, like I said, he has made good signings at the club. He's got rid of a lot of the dead wood since he's come in. At one point, he got us top of the Premier League. Obviously, we're now sitting second in the Premier League. We're probably going to finish second, despite us having back-to-back defeats at Old Trafford in the league. You know, we obviously lost to Liverpool 4-2 and lost to Leicester 2-1. But we are guaranteed Champions League football for next season. Yes, I do have my concerns about Ole. I don't think he's the long-term manager for Man United, but I hope I'm proven wrong. Solskjaer has just under a year left on his current contract. He said earlier on this season that Solskjaer agreed a new 3-year contract worth 30 million, so reflecting on that, he's being given a pay rise. A lot of United fans are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in, and they believe that he needs more time at the club. But obviously there's been a lot of United fans demanding Ole out, and he's been heavily criticised. Obviously they've got their reasons behind it. In a way, I think Solskjaer's lucky to be Man United manager, because we have endured very bad periods under him where you can turn around and say, yeah, he was lucky not to be sacked. But it's with him being a club legend, that's what's basically saved his job at Manchester United. Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. We did appoint him in December 2018 to replace Mourinho, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. Solskjaer was the interim manager at one point, wasn't he? He did very, very well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. He won 14 games out of 19 in all competitions, and that's the reason the club decided to give him the job permanently in March 2019. But yeah, Solskjaer is our best manager since Ferguson. You know, he's inheriting, a lot of players from other managerial eras. But you know what? I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I'm shocked. And next season is massive for Solskjaer, I think he's aware of that. Next season he's got to exceed expectations if he's to remain Man United manager. If things go wrong next season, then I think there's a very, very good chance that he will get sacked. It wouldn't really solve anything if we sacked Solskjaer, because we're not even really known as a sacking football club, despite us sacking 3 managers since Ferguson retired. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.